It's hard. It is hard. My wife is a very, very smart person, but
Thanks, dear.
like, in my opinion, I think my wife is one of the smartest people I've ever met. That's because I love her, right? But like, also, I have evidence to prove this scary shit because I'm pretty bright. I'm pretty bright. I would like to think. But my aunt is equally, if not more intelligent than my wife is, and she worked for NASA. As a motherfucking advisor. You know what I mean? Like it worked for NASA. Like she was crunching numbers. So I look at the history of my wife's family and stuff, and it turns out that they're all smart. Yeah, man. They're all smart. Like every one of them. They're the Chimino bloodline. I'm gonna call it the Chimino bloodline, but like they're all hyper intelligent. And now, trickle down, my wife and I have had a beautiful boy, and this boy's 4. He's the devil. So what I'm trying to say is that like I don't have a conventional household. I'm gonna say I don't have a conventional train of thought when it comes to how conversations happen in my household. We will talk, and because I'm black, I will yell. We will have at it, but we will be intelligent about it. We will use logic to have our conversations. Whether we feel like it's logical or not, we will attempt to use logic to communicate our illogical thought patterns if we have them. So, what we're sitting here talking about, what were we talking about? The effect. I was trying to make the prophetic statement, all right? Listen, and tell me in the comment section if you agree. I'm making the statement to say that you are the universe. And this is a statement. I'm saying that this is a fact. The fact is that you are the universe. And then I'm like, I asked my wife, what is the universe? Right? Like, or like I asked my wife, like, do you agree or disagree on this statement, honey? Her eyes twitching right now. She does not agree that you, her, me are the universe. She doesn't agree. My wife is a very, very, very bright person. And I'm what is considered a quasi-philosophical scientist. I'm a quantum scientist. I like exploring thought patterns and processes of thought that are hyperbolic in the sense of like they are not easy topics to discuss because they borderline that fringe science. I like that shit. That shit slaps because that's where the most stuff happens. Right? That's where all the exciting stuff is, but also that's where planetary scale like shit happens. For the most part, it happens on a quantum scale. It's quantum science, baby. Like it's with the Higgs bosons and stuff. You know what I'm talking about. So what I'm trying to say is, my statement was that you are the universe, right? That I'm the universe. So by proxy, you and I are me, us, we, you. There's no difference. Like a coin, it's a different part. I'm looking at a side of it, but it's still a coin. So like polar opposites, right? You got like, oh, there's people over here and people over there. It's just 2 facets because without one, the duality and all that stuff. And then it starts to get all like, like froofy sciencey, like they start to talk about like chakras and stuff and kundalini. And then you're like, I don't like this science. My wife hates this science. And I'm like, yeah, let me get that. Because I believe that the physics involved in all of the spirituality and the thickness enrichment of what they're doing is based in physics. So therefore it's a science. So I believe that there is something that goes on when they talk about the chakras. There is something that is happening metabolically. There's something that's happening anatomically. There's something that's happening that we don't have the scales to measure, or our human bodies are on a level that's so sensitive a minute change is a great one. I don't know. But I do know that me trying to argue with her for like the last hour, all right, about me saying that I'm the universe is a true statement. It's a true statement. And it's so funny because it's like, I'm gonna tell y'all. Obviously, I think y'all know by the way I look, I'm 420 friendly. That's real rude that you assume that. Okay, so I'm 420 friendly. But it doesn't matter because I wasn't that high when I thought of it. I was really high when I thought of it. So like I wasn't too high I thought of it. I did like 4 dab hits. So I wasn't like super baked. I was in the zone. That's what I'm saying. Cause I'm still in the zone right now. Auto zone. Anyway, so like back to what I was trying to say. Think about it. All right, think about it. What my statement means is that you are comprised of the molecular makeup of your environment, which is located in the universe. They are not separable. They do not exist without one another. Your perception does not disclude the universe. There's nowhere in your thought that you can exist without being inside of the universe. And the universe was here before you were. So you came from the universe. And if you're made of universe stuff, and you look at the other side of the coin, then you are the universe. Okay, what does that statement mean? It means nothing. But it means everything. The current situation is that you, Jake from accounting, just realized something that's pretty fucking amazing. Every atom in my body was made in a star that could have been happening light years from where we are. Oh, that rhymed. I didn't even try to make. I did make that. I tried it. I went for it. Y'all saw it. You saw me go for it. Anyway, so that being said, the gases that are all around our universe are in different concentrations in different areas and cause and acquire different stars. But when those stars blow up, baby, they blow up big. And they make other stars, okay? And the forces involved make other molecules, denser materials, make more stuff and things. And then those things coalesce in gases. And those gases coalesce into hard, rocky bodies, gaseous planets, and stars. And sometimes those gases you see where I'm fucking going? I don't understand why I have to keep doing it. You are the universe. Just buy it. Just take it. You got it. Just like my man Ralph Smart. Ooh. Slow motion for him. Ooh. All right, so but like what I'm trying to say is that once you recognize that you are the universe, you have like a personal obligation to decide what the fuck you want to do with that information. That's it. That's it. You can decide what you want to do for that information, but it's really cool that you are in fact the universe. I know it sounds vague. But let's do it from a scientific standpoint. If you just walked backwards in time, like if you have a linear line of progression, and you're going to say the human factor is human, what are humans made of? And then you look at the baseline level, what we're comprised of, and then you take your hand and you shove it in some dirt, you're going to see a lot of commonalities that say that this thing and this thing are in fact the same fucking thing. They're comprised of the same thing. Not just the same thing, but like the same minerals that are in the ground are represented in your flesh and your bone and your tissues and your visage. You are the dirt and the worms in the dirt. Master Popo stool. So you are the same. When you die, you will go back to the same minerals and base components that build up your very visage, and they will become indistinguishable amongst the material that govern the very ground I walk on. That is not to say that you're insignificant, but it's to make a correlation that eventually you will go back to dirt. So if you go back to dirt, that's to say that you came from dirt. And if dirts make up planets, then you're a planet. Like, you're like, everybody keeps going like, why do you do that? Why do you go like, all right, pineapples are made of fruit. Pineapples goes on trees. Pineapples are trees. No. Pineapples don't exist without trees. So therefore, pineapples are trees because they are property of trees. Without the tree, there'd be no pineapple or whatever fruit on the tree. There's no tree. It's no more significant. I'm saying that the one thing is that these things, to say that one is to not be part of the other, is to say that they are that I can exist without that one. To say I'm not the universe is to say that without the universe I can still exist, and that's impossible. You know this to be true. If I took the universe separate from you, you cannot exist. Why? Because to your perception and knowledge, there is nothing outside of the universe. And you cannot exist there. You are comprised of the universe. You only are comprised of the things that are inside of this universe. And the universe is infinite, so there's a bunch of shit that you're not. But I remember we were talking about, not too long ago, that I was just making mention of concentrations of different matter and materials. So don't try to, yeah, I see my wife over there trying to, I tried to make an example saying that gravity, even though, this is the example I tried to use to say you are the universe, because I say that I have a physical pull on you. And you're saying, no. And I'm saying, without me touching you, I exhibit a force on your body. This is a true statement. The force that I exhibit on your body is null and void in comparison to the forces exhibited on your body by a larger governing body, the planet you live on. But we do know that the reason why gravity works is because of the fabric of space-time. The example of fabric of space-time is the more mass an object has, and it pushes down on this is the fabric of space-time. Also, these are the giant the giant covers, the big and tall, giant silky covers. So nice. So nice. There's so much of it. There's so much of it. Anyway, so here we go. All right? This is you. You are a person. You weigh approximately 150 pounds to the average person. That means your body imparts 150 pounds of gravitational force on the environment you live on, right? Now, this is represented as a springy motion, but also represented as an effect on the fabric of space-time. You guys with me? Okay. So in scale, you will not see this at 150 pounds if we're talking about the scales of planetary bodies. Why? Because we're talking about the scale of planetary bodies. Fuck! Sorry about that. That was really stressful. I apologize. So what I'm trying to say is an example. All right. Now, my example is that my gravity affects you because without me, you're experiencing less gravitational force. My mass is more in your presence than it is when it is not. So like when I am in the area, 250-pound hubby standing in the room has 250-pound worth of density that I'm affecting with my gravitational pull. My gravitational push on my environment will cause an effect that will pull objects closer to my gravitational well. The difference is that we have other forces applying, right? There's a reason why you don't just melt near me and just become part of me. The forces that are involved in your body are stronger than the governing forces of my gravitational pull on your body. And those forces are even weaker because of the gravitational forces of the fucking planet I live on. But just because I make that statement does not mean that I'm in fact saying that your forces does not affect me. Because they do. Because science. If I took you in space And there was no large enough governing bodies where there was no other gravitational pulls other than the own gravitational forces that your physical body and things that are on you can impart on the environment around you. This is the science, the hypothesis theory that we're going to be inducing. 250-pound me is up in the air, curled in the ball. 150-pound you is up in the air, curled in the ball. What happens? If we are at a standstill, distant away from each other, where our gravitational forces could affect each other, what will eventually happen? I'll show you. So this is the representation of fabric of space-time. I know it's a nice fabric, right? So here we go. Here we go. 150-pound you, 250-pound me. Get it? Did you see that? Reverse it? Hold on, look. Check it out. Did you see that? It was nice, wasn't it? I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be an asshole. It's I love science. It's very important to me. It's almost like the basis of what I do a lot of things in. But I'm starting to question certain things that my lovely thing of science has given me, like as far as carbon dating certain events, historical events, and whatnot, and like science, technology. There's so much stuff and information that is like tampered with, just because of the human condition. So I am attempting to reignite my love in science to attempt to make sense of my world once again. I hope that this little, vlog helped you understand a little bit more about my daily stressors. My wife is arguing with me about physics and cosmic scales and shit. And reindeers. All the reindeers. Don't know that I even like Rudolph.